Hey besties, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a little friends Q&A. I wanted to film a video so you guys could get to know me a little bit more, but I don't have a lot of followers to ask questions to, so I thought I would reach out to my friends and see if they could send in some questions. So I thought that I'd get them to tell you one thing they think that you should know about me and ask one thing that they want to know about me. So a few of my friends have sent some voice notes. I haven't listened to them yet, so I'll play them and respond to them in real time. First set of questions has come from my friend Elle. So she is a friend who I met here in Melbourne, actually met through work, and it is one of those friendships that sort of transcend the workplace, and she has come to be like one of my really good friends living here in Melbourne. So let's play her questions.
First question is, what is the one ritual that you can't live without?
One ritual that I can't live without, I would say, is probably journaling. Journaling has been such a huge part of my spiritual and self-development journey. Journaling is something that has really helped me navigate so many things in my life. Part of it is documenting just things that are happening in my life, using it as something to help me work through things that I'm going through. I've kept a consistent journal since about maybe like 2018, so it's been quite a few years since I've been keeping a journal. Notice that when I'm going through a really shitty time, or I'm not feeling well or feeling like myself, I always think to myself, okay, well, have you been journaling? Journaling is one of the habits that I have that doesn't feel like a chore. However, journaling is always the one thing that I go back to. I just love it so much. And her other question was,
we all have parts of ourselves that are contradictory. So what are two traits that you have that are complete opposites?
oh my gosh, two traits that I have that are the complete opposite. In my most authentic state, I find that I really am in touch with my feminine side, my feminine energy. I love nothing more than peace, serenity, flowy, slow mornings. I love to cook and create and nurture, and I think the contradicting part of that is I'm actually very independent. I live alone. I'm financially independent. I, work a corporate job, very opposite to the beautiful flowing energy that I feel in my most authentic state. Thank you so much for sending that question, Elle. That was a really tough one to start with. I met Elle through work, but we really connected through our love of spirituality and self-development. She is so empathetic and beautiful and thoughtful, and those are only a few of the things that I love about her. The next questions are from my friend Mark. We met in high school and been one of my most special friends since he moved to Minnesota, so I don't get to see him very often, but I love him very much.
I think they should know that you think that your jokes are really funny and that you crack yourself up all the time. So when they watch the videos, they'll notice that you laugh at your own jokes. And I think I want to know, what does a perfect day in Emma's world look like? And what is your coffee order?
Love. Oh, that's so sweet. I absolutely do laugh at my own jokes. If you're not making jokes for yourself, who are you really making them for? Okay, so I'll start with my coffee order. If I'm just getting a hot coffee, it is a regular almond flat white. If I'm feeling an iced coffee, it's an iced almond latte. And if I'm having a matcha, it will be matcha with almond milk or oat milk, and iced. Only ever iced matcha. I do not like hot matcha. And what would a perfect day in my life look like? I would say that my perfect day would consist of waking up slowly, cuddling bagel, get up, meditate, journal, breakfast, go to a hot yoga class, come home, shower, have a little breakfast, go and get an iced coffee or an iced matcha, drive to the beach, stay there all day, stay there till 2, come home, have a little siesta, afternoon nap, get ready, meet the girls out for some drinks at a wine bar, go out to dinner, something with the girly pops, have the man come and pick me up, go home, have some fun, have a shower, have some more fun, and go to bed. I feel like that would be like my perfect normal day in the life. However, if I could wake up tomorrow and do whatever I wanted, I would wake up, get on a plane, and go travel another country somewhere and just explore. Thank you so much, Mark, for sending those notes. Okay, so these next questions are from my friend Natalie. Also met in high school, and she knows a lot of shit about me. There was quite a few years where we were like connected at the hip, and she has seen and heard me do some crazy things. She knows a lot of shit. So hopefully she doesn't expose me. Okay, so here we go.
I think one thing that people should know about you is that life is never boring when you're around.
Oh.
I think I've had the most fun in my life when I'm with you, and you're so special to me. And I think that's really important for people to know, that you're just so much fun. You are funny, you are beautiful, you are caring, and I just think you're the best thing in the world. And I love you.
Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Why am I getting emotional? Oh, she's so special to me too. Okay. Here is her question.
I want to know what goal you're looking forward to achieving in the near future.
Oh, that is such a good question. I'm looking at my little vision board. So I feel like, dude, it is the 1st of April when I'm filming this. So we've already finished Q1, and I cannot believe how fast this year has gone already. One thing that I was excited to achieve this year was being debt-free, and as of a few weeks ago, I'm fully debt-free, which is so exciting. I just realized that this vision board is actually my vision board from last year. I have no idea how that swapped. You know what? I think I do know how it swapped. Probably another goal I'm looking forward to this year is buying a new car. I recently sold my car, so I'm looking forward to saving up and buying a new car. I'm also looking forward to another overseas trip. So I kind of want to go back to the Philippines again. Again, if you guys don't know this, I am half Filipina, and I haven't been there since I was like 16 years old maybe. So I'd love to go back to the Philippines, or go to Vietnam, or Japan, maybe South Korea. So I definitely want to get some traveling in this year. These next questions are from my friend Dana. Also met through work when I moved down here to Melbourne, and she was just one of those people where you instantly just click. So the first day I came into the office, I sat next to her, and within the first like 5 minutes we were like cackling like witches. She lives in Townsville now. She was actually the one that I went to go visit in my last vlog.
Hi my girl, thank you for letting me be a part of your YouTube video. I'm so excited and so proud of you for doing this. 2 things I want people to know about you. Number 1, Emma is literally sunshine in human form. She's the most beautiful, kind, loving, and generous person you'll meet, and has a heart of gold. So everybody needs to know that. And the second thing is, I want everyone to know how talented you are when it comes to anything design and anything creative. The way that you can just take something out of your mind and then put it into physical form is phenomenal. So I want everyone to know that. And the question I want to ask about you is, when you decided to move to Melbourne, do you remember what the certain point in your life was that made you think, I need to move now? I'd love to know that, because I know how much of a Sydney lover you are, and I'd love to know what changed your mind about wanting to move to Melbourne. Love you so much, and can't wait to watch this video.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you so much for sending voice note. So for those of you who don't know, I was born and raised in Sydney. I lived there until I was like 30 years old. So I guess the short answer is that I've always loved Melbourne. I've always loved the city. I just always wanted to move here. So many times I flew down here and just like had a weekend down here by myself. I just loved the energy of the city. A big part of how I manifest is I know once I decide that that is what I want, that is what I'm getting. And there is like this unshakable confidence that comes with that statement. And my sister and her partner had been living down here for I think about 5 years or so, and she was pregnant with my nephew at the time. So it was just after COVID. We had been through 2 lockdowns in Sydney, and both of those lockdowns I was living alone. At one point I had gone over a month without seeing any family and friends, so I was completely alone. I hate being that person that just says I'm going to and never does. So I felt like I decided that I wanted to move to Melbourne, and I just went for it. And when I tell you the doors opened up for me, like it was a very easy transition. That time in my life, I think I was just craving some change. Here we are 4 years later, and I am still living here. So that is the reason I decided to move down to Melbourne. So I have one last voice note from my girlfriend Annie. We also met in high school. That's kind of a theme. I have a lot of friends from high school, and I know how rare and lucky I am to have such great friendships from my younger years. So a lot of the friendships that I have, I've known them longer than I haven't known them, which is very special.
So I have 2 questions for you that I feel like people would love hearing your answers to, myself included. The first one's a 2-parter. So what kind of life are you working on building? And what would an ideal day in that life look like? And the second one is, what are your top 3 favorite pieces of art? Whether that be like books, film, visual art, music, or any type of art in any type of form, and why do they mean so much to you? I'm excited to hear your answers. Love you.
That's really funny. It was really similar to the question that Mark asked me, but I love this question because I feel like visualization is such a good tool for manifestations. I recently attended a workshop with Brooke. I think she's guided by Brooke on Instagram, a psychic astrologer. She is freaking amazing at like tarot readings. She does birth chart readings and does guidance in line with your birth chart and all that kind of stuff. So one of the exercises she got us to do was to close our eyes and visualize what a perfect day in our life would be. So I'll kind of answer it in a way that is more like my dream work day in my life. So again, it wouldn't be too different. I think I would ideally love to wake up intuitively without an alarm, get up, make a matcha, go to a hot yoga class, and then instead of coming home and logging on to a job that drains me, I would love to be able to show up and work on something that feels like me and feels like I am contributing something to the world in a positive way and really filling up my creative cup. I would be doing filming or like editing a vlog, working on some art, building or working on a business that I've created myself. And then in the afternoon, I'd love to like leave the house, go to a beautiful cafe or to the markets or a gallery, or meet up with a friend for a late lunch or wine or something like that. I'd love to come home, reset the space, set some incense, wind down in the evening with like a tea and a robe and a face mask, and maybe like watch a movie or something, cuddling bagel on the couch. It's slow, it's doing creative work, it's doing things that make me feel fulfilled and like I'm living in line with my authentic self and my purpose. There are a lot of different versions of what my dream life look like. I'd obviously love to have a family one day. My dream life would look differently then. I think that is such a great question because it really requires you to reflect. And to be completely honest, I feel like I've been living very reactively recently and I haven't really been thinking ahead too much. So the goals that I've set for myself this year, just trying to build more of a foundation for myself. I have reached my goal of being debt free, setting myself up financially to have a bit more security and more freedom. I've been working with my therapist, who is also a naturopath, for over a year now, and she's been helping me with my PCOS and treating that naturally, or helping me manage that naturally. And I also recently joined the gym again for the first time in quite a few years. Again, I'm setting the foundation to have my body be as healthy as it possibly can be, so when I'm ready to have a family, hopefully within the next couple of years or so, that I will be healthy enough to have the privilege of being a mum. And also with this channel, I'm building the foundation of something where I can be creative and have a creative outlet that doesn't really have any boundaries around it. Okay, my camera died, so now I have to film on my phone. So I feel like the life that I'm building now is setting me up for my future. My 3 favorite forms of art, I feel like nothing will ever beat music for me. Music is my favorite form of art. What I've learned is that people don't love music in the way that I love it and the way that I use it. I find it as a form of therapy and I use it as like a soundtrack for my life. Also, don't know if I've told you guys this, but I also love to sing. So I've been singing my whole life and I feel like that is such a therapeutic thing for me as well. The science behind music as well. I just love the energy of music and how it can influence the way that you think and feel and the way it can evoke emotions. And I'm a very emotional person, so I feel like, yeah, music is like my number one art form. And then I would say my second form would probably be kind of like contemporary art. So just anything that has a cool story behind it. Although I studied art from like year 7 to year 12, my knowledge of art theory is so terrible. Like I'm like, even if I go to an art gallery, I'm not looking at every single piece of art, reading all of the descriptions and stuff. I'm like, I just like looking at something and it evoking any sort of emotion or like has a story behind it that I find interesting. Or this is a really bad way of explaining it, but. And the last one, I don't know if this really counts, but I just love the art of like creating something out of nothing. I really do love like graphic design. I do a lot of it through work, and I don't know, there's just something about creating something from nothing and starting with a blank sheet of paper and just creating something that looks very visually appealing. I love working with like different typography and layouts and creating logos, and you know, I just love doing all of that stuff. So I don't know if that really counts, but I love graphic design. So that is the end of my friend's Q&A. Hopefully I answered all the questions properly, but hopefully you learned something about me. If you liked this video, let me know and maybe we can film part 2. Thank you so much if you are watching my videos. I'm having so much fun filming and editing these and they just bring me so much joy. I love reading your comments and hearing all your feedback. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.